Good morning students, hope you are doing well. So in these video lectures we are discussing all the 2025 previous year questions and most important questions that have been repeated again and again for over years. 2021, 2022, 2023 UGC NET examination, 24, 25. We have been seeing these questions repeated again. Okay, the topics are repeated again. Actually what happens is that when we look at the question, for example, this is the topic literary research methods. All right, so in the previous year what happens is that there are total 9 types of research. Okay, there are total 9 types of research in English literature, but in the examination they give you the 4 options, and out of these 4 options, 2 options are related to these 9 types. So students only study these two options, these 2 research works, these 2 literary research method. They do not study the remaining 7 literary research method. So that is why it is important that you are studying comprehensively. Okay, if they have asked you questions from the literary research, what are the types of literary research in English literature? Okay, they have given you 3 options or 4 options. You have to study all the 9 options. You have to study all the 9 types of research. So in this video, I am going to tell you we are going to discuss research methods. What are the research methods? We are also going to look at the UGC NET questions, and all these things are very important for examination. And yes, if in case you join UGC NET English Literature Limitless Literature batch, then you are going to get the specific guidance, specific that sort of content for every topic. Okay, so let's look into this. So this is the question. Okay, for example, they have asked you descriptive bibliography, analytical bibliography, enumerative and historical bibliography. So they have asked you 4 types of bibliography. So, but there are 5 types of bibliography. There are 5 types of bibliography. In the next examination, they may ask you what is textual bibliography. Okay, so that is the 5th one, textual bibliography. They can ask you, and bibliography is also one of the research, one of the type of research. Okay, bibliography and textual criticism. So this is the full name, bibliography and textual criticism. Okay, bibliography is one of the types of research, literary research in literature, or research methodology in literature, types of research. There are 2, 3, 4, total 9 types of research. So when you are studying, if you find bibliography, you just write down in Google, you just try to figure out what are the types of bibliography and what is bibliography. Yes, you have to study these 9 types of all the 9 types, and in this video we will discuss. See, the question paper is really easy. It's just about your understanding of the topics. If you have covered those topics in a simple and precise manner, you will be able to get the answers right. Okay, so this question is really simple. We will discuss these questions again, and once looking at the whole topic, you will be able to answer this particular question. Okay, the next question is, which of the following is not a kind of literary research? Okay, bibliography and textual criticism. You see, they have given bibliography and textual criticism. So this has 5 points. You mean like there are 5 subcategories. We have biographical research, we have bibliographical, textual criticism. Experimental is something that is not a type of research. Okay, we have interpretive. So these are the 3, 1, 2, 3, and there are 6 more remaining. Total 9 types of research in English literature. Let's discuss these things. Okay, so 9 types of literary research. We are going to discuss all these things now. So the first one is bibliographical and textual criticism. It's very easy to understand. Bibliographical means how the books are made, the printed, the bounding mechanism, how the books are binded, the printing mechanism. So it has 5 types. As I said, it has 5 types. We have seen in the question paper. We have just seen in the question paper. It has 5 types. These are the 4 types, and we have the 5th one. You understand this thing. We are not studying literary theory. We are not studying British literature. We are not studying the text. The problem is that students do not understand the difference between research and literature. Research is not about reading the text. I am talking about these things, type of researches. Okay, we are not studying literary theory. हम text को नहीं पढ़ रहे हैं. हम टेक्स्ट को नहीं पढ़ रहे हैं. वी आर नॉट स्टडिंग द मेटाफर्स, वी आर नॉट स्टडिंग द सिमिलीज, वी आर नॉट स्टडिंग द हाउ द लैंग्वेज इज रिटन, वी आर नॉट स्टडिंग एट ऑल. We are studying how the books are produced. Okay, practical applications of literature. Whatever we study in literature, it's all about theory, formalism, structuralism, criticism. Of course, that is also a type of research. Okay, but then again, maximum things in research comes outside the text. Okay, outside of the text. When you say MLA handbook citation, MLA handbook, MLA style of referencing, that is not something related to text, that is outside the text. So understand this thing, when we are studying research, we are not studying the sentences, what the author is trying to say, what author meaning. Okay, we are not studying the authors, we are not studying the, you can say, the writers, what they are writing. It is a dystopian novel, it is a Bildungsroman, it is a novel from epic theater. Okay, we are not studying, it is a play from epic theater. We are not studying those things, we are studying something outside, which is quality of the book, the ink of the book, the printing technique of the book, the paper quality of the book, how the papers are bound. That is the thing. How many books are in the library, okay, in the bookshelf, list of books. We are studying those things when we talk about literature, literary research in English literature. Okay, let's move on to this thing. So bibliographical, I hope you understand what is bibliographical. Okay, so bibliographical means when we are talking about printing and ink and all these things. But when we talk about textual criticism, it is not literary criticism. It is not literary criticism, because you may find that a lot of students will think that textual criticism means literary criticism, something Aristotle has written, something Plato has written to ban the poets from the Republic. Aristotle defended it, Philip Sidney defended it. No, we are not talking about literary criticism. We are talking about how the things are written by those writers. For example, the handwritten. For example, William Shakespeare. Printing press came in the 15th century or 16th century, you can say that. But at the time of William Shakespeare, he used to write from the hand. Okay. When he wrote, okay, every drama he wrote it with the hand, and at that time printing press were not there, so the scholars used to copy the handwriting of William Shakespeare. And what happens is that the scholars who are copying the handwriting of the William Shakespeare, they misinterpreted something and they wrote something else. जैसे डॉक्टर की handwriting है, वैसे शेक्सपियर की handwriting है. And then when the scholar read the doctor's handwriting of Shakespeare, he made something different. He wrote something different. In the first version, which is written by, you can say, William Shakespeare, the quotation was to be or not to be. Here, there is the point. So that is one of the research done on the quotation, the most famous question, to be or not to be, that is a question. So that is not what Shakespeare has written. Shakespeare might have written to be or not to be, there is the point. So that is the version first of William Shakespeare's Hamlet. But then come the version second. This is written by some scholar taking the handwriting of William Shakespeare, and he wrote that to be or not to be, that is the question. So they changed the original thing. So textual criticism is when we study the versions, manuscript 1, manuscript 2, manuscript 3, when we read the versions of these things. I hope you are getting the point. Alright, so this is what textual criticism all about. Bibliography means about printing, ink and all that, and textual criticism is all about when you are reading what the scholars are writing, how the multiplication of manuscripts have been generated. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So here we go with the 5 types of biblical textual criticism. Okay, there are 9 types of research. Okay, so let me take you to the screen. Okay, so there are 9 types of research: bibliography, biographical research, experimental research, interpretive research, theoretical approach. Okay, experimental research is not a part of research. Theoretical approach, historical research, archival research, comparative literary research, digital humanities and stylistics. Most teachers will teach you nowadays, what I am seeing is that they are saying digital humanities. Digital humanities are just small topics, and that is a part of the whole research. Whole research, you have to study the 9 types. If the questions may not come from here, they may ask you questions from stylistics, they may ask you questions from theoretical approach. This is a question: which of the following is not a kind of literary research? This is the question of the UGC NET 2025 examination. So Bibliography and textual criticism is the first type of research, and it has further five types. Okay, Fred's and Bower, they can ask you who coined these or who organized bibliographical research in some sort of organized category. Earlier the scholars were randomly doing all these things, but it was the Fred's and Bower who created these 5 types of category and put them under the bibliography research. Okay, so descriptive bibliography. Descriptive is very simple. Descriptive is how the book is looking from the outside, the appearance, the physical quality of the book, the paper quality, the binding of the book. That's what we have been discussing. Okay, bibliography is all about ink and paper and all that. So descriptive bibliography means how the book is looking, how the book is appearing, what is the book bounding. Okay, so that is a book. Jumbo word research, more than 150 puzzles. So book quality, okay, how the book is looking from the outside, that is what descriptive bibliography. Analytical bibliography. Analytical bibliography means how the books have been produced on the specific period of time. This is 2020, like you can say 2017 edition. So 2017 edition, when you are doing exact how this book used to look in 2017, how books were used to look in 2017. So that is analytical bibliography. Okay, when you are putting at a specific period of time, how the Shakespeare books used to look like in 17th century, in 18th century, the production has been changed. So at that period of time, production 1600s में book कैसी दिखती थी, that is analytical bibliography, and that is the question in the examination. Books, copies of books in the light of our knowledge of how books were produced, in literary research, how books were produced in that particular moment of time. So that is what analytical bibliography. The third one is numerative bibliography. It is very clear from the name. Numerative, number, E-N-U-M-E-R-A-T-I-V, number, enumerative, number. When you are creating the list of books, when you say, I have a list of books of 2025 reading list. Number 1, I am going to read Ajay Pandey's You Are My Best 5. Number 2, I am going to read The God of Small Things, Arundhati Roy's, Amitabh Ghosh, The Glass Palace. So that is the list you are creating, that comes under numerative bibliography. Number, numerative, list maker. When you create a list, that comes under numerative bibliography. Then we have historical bibliography, how the history affected the printing, how the World War II affected the printing. Okay, then in the fifth one, which is not mentioned here, okay, textual bibliography. Textual bibliography, we have already discussed the versions of Shakespeare's, okay, manuscript 1, how the manuscript 1 used to look like, how the manuscript 2 used to look like, how the manuscript 3 used to look like. So that is what we have, the textual bibliography. Okay, let me erase everything. Now here is the question, which of the following is not a kind of literary research? We have already discussed bibliography and textual criticism, which has 5 types. Okay, the next one is biographical research. The next one is experimental. Yes, experimental research is not a part of. So this is the right answer. Which of the following is not a kind of literary research? So experimental research is not a kind of literary research. So this is first 2, and interpretive research, that becomes 3. Okay, interpretive research. Theoretical research, that is 4. Historical research, 5. Archival research, 6. Comparative literary research, 7. Digital humanities, 8. Stylistics, 9. Okay, so these are the types of research. If you are not able to see, I will zoom this screen while getting it edited. Okay, the first one is bibliography and textual research. We have already discussed. Biographical research, biography, that is answer is in the name. Okay, biography means when you are talking about the birth date, education, early life, or everything. Whenever you read a Wikipedia, whenever you open the Wikipedia, there is a biographical research. So biographical research, the best example is Wikipedia. Whenever you look at the biographical research page on the Wikipedia of Charles Dickens, you are able to understand the birth date, you understand the education, the early life, the influence of friends, that comes under biographical research. We have experimental research, that is not a part of literary research. Then we have interpretive research, about revealing the hidden meaning. Okay, for example, close reading, discourse, hermeneutics, through experience. Okay, interpretation of the text. What all are the methods that helps us to interpret the text? What all are the methods that help us to understand the textual thing? What are the methods? Close reading can one of the methods. You can say feminism can another method. Hermeneutics means when you are looking at the text, and through your experience, whatever you learn from the text, that is hermeneutics. When you are talking about the context, big context or discourse, that is interpretive, how you are interpreting the text, the methods that come under interpretive research. Then we have the theoretical approach, theory, structuralism, formalism, Marxism. These are the theoretical approach. This is the practical approach. You see, close reading, discourse, and hermeneutics. You are listing out the types of research which includes in interpretation. But then theoretical approach means when you are talking about formalism, okay, new criticism, text orientation, structuralism, deconstruction, that is theoretical approach, that is theoretical research. Then comes the historical research. What are the influences of the event in the life of the author? For example, William Wordsworth used to live in the age of French Revolution. How French Revolution influenced the thoughts of William Wordsworth? That comes under historical research, which is different from historical bibliography. Bibliography, we have already discussed all these things. Please rewind this video and look at what is historical bibliography. This is historical research, one of the 9 types of different types of research methods. Okay, historical research is about how French Revolution influenced the thoughts of William Wordsworth. We have archival research, which means the letters, archive, the original handwriting of the writer. Okay, you can say the handwritten draft, the unpublished poems, that is archive. That is the original manuscripts, personal letters between the authors. For example, John Keats wrote a lot of letters to his brother, and those letters have been revived kiya gaya, to that part of archival research. For example, we have writer Harper Lee, To Kill the Mockingbird. To Kill the Mockingbird is a work by Harper Lee. But right now, just 5 or 6 years ago, another novel was published by Harper Lee, okay, just after her death or just before her death. Let me know what is the name of the novel in the comment section below. Let me know in the comment section below what is the name of the novel by Harper Lee that was just published. Okay, let me know in the comment section. Also, please like the video because that makes me feel encouraged to create more videos. Do let me know your views in the comment section also, how you are able to understand these topics or not. So that will help me to create more videos. Okay, do subscribe to this channel also. Alright, so let's come on to the comparative literary research. Comparison, how the theme of love has been treated in the France, how the theme of love has been treated in England, how the theme of love is treated in India, how the genres are treated, how the culture are treated in different countries, what are the influences on Shakespeare. So that also comes under comparative literature. We see that university wits has a great influence on William Shakespeare. So that also comes under comparative literary research when you start studying the influence on Shakespeare by which of the writers from university wits. That comes under comparative literary research. Then we have digital humanities. Digital humanities are all about computer. We don't need the human beings. We need only the computers to mine the data, to understand the themes. Okay, theme of love. We don't need you. We don't need the readers. We don't need the actual human beings. We have the computers to analyze the themes between the different books. We have the computers to visualize, to create the data charts. We have the computers. We have the Google books, archival methods. We don't need human beings. We don't need libraries because we already have the Google books. We have the Google Reads. We have every single thing. We have the Kindle device. We don't need these type of paperback. We don't need these paperbacks because we already have the Kindle device. So that all comes under digital humanities. Last one is stylistics. Stylistics is how the language has been used by the writer, whether the writer language is formal or the informal, whether it is a complex or whether it is a simple. That comes in the stylistic research, when you are reading about the language, how the language has been used by the author. So that is stylistics, use of language, formal versus informal, simple, complex, repeated words, how many words the writer has been repeated, how the sentence are repeated by the writer. So that comes under stylistics. I hope you are able to understand all these things. So that is the end of our lecture. Let's get back to the question once. Alright, so the first question is, which bibliography is concerned with the close analysis of individual copies of books in the lights of are known how books are produced. How books are produced? Analytical bibliography, we have already discussed. Descriptive bibliography talks about the appearance of the books. Narrative bibliography talks about the list of the books, like number are there. Historical bibliography talks about the influence of history on that particular book. For example, World War II, how World War II affected the printing mechanism of the particular book. Okay, so the answer is analytical bibliography, which talks about the production of the books. All right, so here we have another question, which is, which of the following is not a kind of literary research? Not a kind of literary research, experimental research. Okay, we have already discussed these three things. I hope all these things are clear to you now, and if you found the video helpful, do let me know in the comment section below. I will see you soon in the next video. Please study what we are teaching, because that's going to help you to qualify the examination, because these are the undiscovered topics that we discuss here on Limitless Literature. Do subscribe to UGC NET English Literature batch. I will be letting you know how to study, how to prepare, or how to qualify these competitive exams in literature. I will see you soon in the next video. That's it. Thank you.